Who got you pregnant, this girl? Tell me this minute.
Mama, I am sorry.
Who is the man that did this to you? Tell me his name now.
My mother did not shout. She did not cry at first. She only stared at my stomach and asked one question that cut my life in half. Who got you pregnant? That question was louder than thunder in that small room. The spoon fell from my hand. It made a sharp sound on the floor. I did not bend to pick it up. My heart was beating so fast I thought it would tear my chest open. My mouth was dry. My tongue felt heavy like stone. My mother stood there, one hand on her waist, the other holding her bag from the market. Sweat ran down her face, not from heat, from shock. She asked again, I asked you something. Who got you pregnant? I looked at the floor. I could not look at her face. Mama, I whispered. That was when everything broke. She screamed, Jesus Christ of Nazareth! She dropped the bag. Tomatoes rolled on the floor. Pepper scattered like blood. After everything, she shouted. After all my suffering, she hit her chest. Is this how you will kill me? Neighbors gathered outside her door. I heard murmurs. Is it true? Ah, so it has happened. I knew it. Shame covered me like dirty water. I was not a bad girl. That is the painful part. I did not follow boys around. I did not go to parties. I went from school to home, home to church, church to home. My mother trusted me. That trust was now lying on the floor with the scattered tomatoes. She sat down heavily. Stand there, she said. Don't move. I stood like a criminal. Who is the boy? She asked quietly. I shook my head. She laughed again. That same bitter laugh. So you don't even have a name to give me? Tears dropped from her eyes. Do you know what people will say about me? I knew. In our area, a girl's mistake becomes her mother's curse. That night, my father did not talk. He came back late. Someone had already told him. He looked at me once, just once. Then he entered his room and locked the door. That look hurt more than beating. I remembered how everything started. Kunle was not a monster. He was just weak. He helped me during my IT. He listened when I complained about hunger and stress. When he held my hand, I felt safe. I will marry you, he said one evening. I believed him because I wanted to believe someone would save me from poverty. I did not know I was walking into deeper pain. When I told him about the pregnancy, his face changed. Are you sure? He asked. That question still haunts me. He did not shout. He did not deny fully. He just became cold. I need to think, he said. Thinking turned into disappearing. Back in my mother's house, the insult started. You have destroyed your future. You have killed your mother. See your mates getting married. I slept and woke up with tears. Morning sickness came. Hunger followed it. Sometimes there was no food. Sometimes my mother cooked and did not call me. I understood. Or at least I tried to. One evening, I heard her praying. God, take my life and leave my children. I covered my mouth to stop myself from crying out loud. I had become a burden. She took me to Kunle's house one day. His mother looked at me like death. My son is not responsible. My son is a good boy. I wanted to scream. Good boys don't disappear. But my mouth remained shut. Months passed. My belly grew. My shame grew with it. People stopped greeting me. Children laughed behind my back. My mother stopped introducing me as my daughter. She just said my name. One night, as rain beat hard on the roof, my mother sat beside me. She touched my stomach. This child, she said slowly, did not ask to come like this. Her voice broke. I am angry, but I am also tired. That was the first time she did not shout. I cried like a child. I don't know what tomorrow holds. I only know that one question changed everything. A question that exposed my fear. A question that broke my mother's heart. A question that turned love into disappointment. Who got you pregnant? And the silence that followed is still louder than any answer I could ever give. The day my water broke, nobody shouted. There was no drama, no panic, only silence. It was early morning. The sky was still grey. Rain had fallen all night, and the floor was cold. I woke up with pain that wrapped my waist tightly and refused to let go. "Mama," I called softly. She did not answer. I tried again, louder this time. She came out of her room slowly, rubbing her eyes. "What is it?" she asked. I looked down at the wet wrapper between my legs. Her face changed. That was how my child announced himself. Without noise, without joy, without celebration. The ride to the hospital was quiet. No prayers, no encouragement, just the sound of the old taxi coughing on the bad road. My mother sat beside me, holding her bag tightly. She did not hold my hand. Pain came in waves. I bit my lips so I wouldn't scream. Screaming would attract attention, and attention had already ruined my life enough. At the hospital, the nurse looked at my file and asked, "Where is the father?" My mother answered before I could, "He is not here." The nurse nodded. She did not ask again. That nod broke something inside me. Labor was long, very long. I cried, I begged, I promised God things I didn't even understand. At some point, I called Kunle's name without thinking. My mother heard it. She turned her face away. Hours later, a cry filled the room. Not my cry, the baby's. A small, tired cry, like someone who was not sure if he should be here. The nurse placed him on my chest. I looked at his face. He looked innocent. Too innocent to carry the shame people had already placed on him. Tears rolled down my face. "I'm sorry," I whispered to him. I didn't know what else to say. My mother stood at a distance. She did not come close immediately. When she finally did, she looked at the baby, then at me. "He looks like you," she said. That was all. No smile, no joy, but no anger either. We returned home quietly. No visitors, no gifts, no congratulations. Just us. Neighbors came to peep. Some pretended to care, some did not hide their curiosity. "So it's a boy? God is faithful. Where is the father now?" My mother answered no one. She closed the door. Taking care of the baby was hard. Sleep left my eyes. Hunger stayed. Pain lived in my body. Sometimes the baby cried endlessly, and I cried with him. My mother helped, but from a distance. She bathed him, she washed his clothes, but she rarely carried him. One night, my mother finally spoke. "You know, when you were born, I had nothing, but I was happy." I waited. This one came with disgrace, but he did not cause it. Her voice cracked. "I don't know how to love him yet." That night, I cried into my pillow until morning. Weeks passed. Kunle never came. No call, no message. I stopped checking my phone. Hope is dangerous when it stays too long. One afternoon, I returned from the hospital and found my mother sitting with the baby. She was humming softly. I stood at the door and watched. She did not know I was there. She touched his cheek gently. "My son," she whispered. Something lifted from my chest. Life did not suddenly become good. Money was still tight. People still talked. My future was still uncertain. But slowly, something changed. My mother started calling the baby by name. She carried him on her back. She defended him when people made careless comments. One evening, she said to me, "You will go back to school when he is older." I looked at her in shock. She sighed. "I am angry, but I am still your mother." That was the closest thing to forgiveness I ever received. Sometimes, at night, I look at my son sleeping. I remember that question. The question that shattered my world. Who got you pregnant? I still don't have an answer that will heal everything. But I have a child who holds my finger tightly when he sleeps. And a mother who, despite everything, did not send me away. This story did not end happily, but it did not end completely broken either. It ended with scars, with silence, with a child born into a world that judged him before he breathed, and a girl who learned that one mistake can change a life, but it does not always kill it. Forgiveness did not come like a celebration. It came like tired rain, slow, quiet, and unsure if it would last. After my mother said I would go back to school one day, nothing changed immediately. The house was still small, money was still not enough, people still talked, but the shouting stopped. That alone felt like mercy. My son grew fast, too fast. His cries became louder, his fingers became stronger. He smiled without knowing what kind of world he had entered. Sometimes I watched him and wondered how something so pure could come from so much pain. Every morning I woke before dawn. I washed clothes, I cooked when there was food, I carried my baby on my back and walked to the hospital for immunization. Women stared. Some pitied me, some judged me. One woman said, "You are young, go, God will help you." Another whispered, "She ruined her life." Both voices stayed in my head. Kunle never came, not once. I heard rumors. Someone said he relocated, someone said he was engaged, someone said he pretended I never existed. At first I waited, then I stopped. Hope can kill slowly if you allow it. One evening my mother sat outside peeling vegetables. I joined her. We did not talk for a long time. Then she said, "People have started asking when you will leave my house." My heart dropped. I told them, "You are not going anywhere," she continued. I looked at her. "You are still my child," she said, mistake or not. Tears filled my eyes, but I did not cry. I had cried enough for one lifetime. Life outside did not soften. Sometimes my mother would send me to buy something, and the seller would say loudly, "Mama baby, how is the child?" People laughed. I smiled weakly. At home, I broke down. My mother said, "Ignore them," but ignoring pain does not stop it from hurting. One night, the baby fell sick. High fever, no sleep. We rushed to the hospital. As the nurse attended to us, she asked gently, "Are you married?" I shook my head. She nodded like someone who had seen this story many times. That nod did not hurt anymore. I was getting used to it. That scared me. Months passed. I started selling small things from home, groundnuts, sachet water, anything. I wanted to help. My mother never complained, but I could see the tiredness in her eyes. One afternoon, she watched me counting small notes. She said, "You have grown." I laughed softly. Pain forces growth. My son took his first steps in our small room. He fell. He stood again. My mother clapped. That was the first time I saw her smile freely in a long time. She carried him and said, "This boy has stubborn strength." I thought of myself. Maybe strength runs in the family. Sometimes at night when everywhere is quiet, fear comes. What if I never marry? What if I never return to school? What if my child asks about his father? Those questions sit on my chest like stones. But morning always comes, and with it, work. One day my mother called me. She handed me a form. "Evening school," she said. "It is not much, but it is a start." I stared at it. I did not trust happiness anymore. "You will manage," she added. "I will help with the baby." That night I cried again, but this time not from shame, from relief. This story did not become beautiful. There was no rich man, no sudden breakthrough, no public apology, just survival. Just a mother who stayed, a child who lived, and a girl who refused to die inside. Sometimes I still hear that question in my head. Who got you pregnant? It no longer breaks me the way it used to. Now it reminds me of where I fell and how, slowly, painfully, I stood back up. Not whole, not proud, but still standing.